Hey everyone. We've talked about it all semester how this can be a really heavy class. We deal with a lot of really heavy topics, and yeah, it can just add some weight as you maybe start to see the world in different ways. Hopefully, it's also liberating. Hopefully, it's also inspiring. Hopefully, it's connecting and builds empathy and new paths to happiness. But I also understand that things can just be like, whew. So I wanted to take a day and just talk a little bit about self-care. Many of you are probably familiar with the phrase. Self-care is very simple in concept, and yet for many people, very difficult in practice. Self-care is exactly what it sounds like. It's just doing things to care for yourself. But many of us have been taught and conditioned that either that this is not okay, or that we should go about it in ways that are really destructive or not actually healthy. So I guess I just want to start by saying that your life is yours. Nobody else owns it. There are no shoulds, there are no musts, there are no have-tos. These are all conditions that have been imposed upon you within this social game that we play. But beyond that, you are human and your life is yours. And so you're free to make the decisions that you want to make. You have choices. And I encourage you to put down some of those burdens that you've adopted over the years, that somebody's convinced you that you have to prove yourself, or you have to be better, or you have to support everybody else at your own expense, or you have to be productive, even if it means not sleeping enough, or you have to get straight A's, otherwise you're not good enough, or like all of this bullshit. I mean, the list goes on, and so I'm sure just as I'm talking, some of you are like, oh yeah, there's this or that expectation that I've placed on myself, because ultimately all expectations are ones that we've placed on ourselves, right? Other people may, suggest or try to force expectations on us, but it's on us to internalize it or not. And so I just really want to encourage you to step back from all of that pressure and just approach each moment and each day as yours to do with as you will. And I think if you start from that perspective, then the rest of self-care becomes so much easier. What do I want to do? How can I, make the most of this? Now, there are certain things, like, school or whatever might not always be fun. First of all, I'll be the first to tell you that, if you quit school, if you fail out of school, you will be okay. You just will. This is not the most important thing in the world, and I think sometimes we build up all this pressure as if it is. No, I have to, I must, this is essential. No, you all are incredibly flexible and resilient humans. You'll thrive in any number of ways. So that's not a have to, that's a choice, that's a get to. And by all means, if you want to do school. I obviously value education very highly and think there's a lot that can be gained from this, but just understand that if you approach it from that perspective, what can I gain, what can I learn, rather than from a what must I do, how can I pass perspective, it's going to be so much more fulfilling. And even when there are tasks that we don't really want to do, maybe you feel like you should exercise, or you should do your homework, or you should eat healthy, I don't know, whatever the things are that we sort of pressure ourselves to do, are there ways that you can shift that motivation intrinsically? How can you make eating exercise fun so that you do it because you want to? Is there a way to approach your homework that makes it more light and playful and spontaneous and less just sort of like a, hunker down and work it hard? So there's so many things that we can do. I think just really simple little things to shift our mindset and regain control of our lives rather than feeling like we've surrendered it to somebody else. That's the aspect of self-care I'll ask you to sort of focus on, because I think if you start with those foundational assumptions, then the simple things like, do I like to take baths, or is it helpful for me to sit in the sun every day, or whatever the other things might be that end up becoming your version of self-care. Do I sing along to music at least 10 minutes a day, or do I put on some calming nature sounds and color in my journal, or whatever those things are. Those are on you, but you don't need me or any expert to tell you what they are. You just need to give yourself permission to do them. And if you need permission from somebody else, this is just me here giving you permission. So continue to take good care of yourselves. Please know that I am here, and so if there's anything I can do to support you on that journey, all you have to do is reach out. I always smile when I hear from you all, and you give me emails or you share things on the discussion board or elsewhere. It makes my day. So even though we're doing this, cyber thing now, I hope you all know that you're all incredibly valuable to me. I still feel really connected to you. I still am honored to be part of your journey. So I hope that you continue to do all of the self-care things and maybe even dial it up a notch right now as things become a little bit more difficult. If we can let go of expectations, if we can let go of dwelling on the past and the future, if we can embrace more mindfulness, I think we can find a lot of joy. And it's from that perspective and from that place that I'd love to walk with you into these last few weeks here. So hopefully you enjoyed, hopefully you give me lots of questions, and I look forward to talking more about this.